anything else about you that you'd like to share?
No, is that on? I can't talk if that's on.
No, I turned it off. The story behind the name, LaJo's, why you came up with that.
Laura, Laura, John, John.
Can you explain to me from the time you get up to the end of the day?
I am just the cashier in the store, and I am the owner.
Right. But, like, what time do you get up in the morning to do this?
I get up in the morning at 6, and I'm down in the store at 7.
And you open at?
I open at 7:30.
And then people just...
I close at 4:30.
Why do you like working LaJo's every day?
Because I own it, and that's the business I learned when I was a kid. We never bought sausage. We always made sausage, even before I was married.
And do you think that the major thing that people come in for is sausage?
Absolutely.
And not, like, what about, like, you have pastries and, like, authentic stuff like that?
They come in for Italian cheeses.
Yeah.
Italian lunch meats.
Mm-hmm.
Sausages.
If you had to say one thing that was your favorite thing that you sold in the store, like one product, what would you say is your favorite?
Sausage.
For recommendations, do people come in and ask you about, you know, recipes and, like, how to cook things?
I give it to them.
And is it mostly Italians?
Mostly Italian.
And
90% of the time.
Who come in and buy everything?
Well, not really.
When I think of the store, LaJo's excitement, there's never a dull time when you go into the store. Julie is the store. It shouldn't be called LaJo's, it should be called Julie's. Because I'll tell you something, people go to her for advice, believe it or not. Julie Laura giving advice.
Why did you open LaJo's?
Because, God, I really... Because I wanted an Italian store.
And you had a recipe?
For sausage. My mother made it forever. In Italy, we never bought sausage. We always made it.
Mm-hmm. And there were a lot of other Italian stores, right?
That's right. There was 19, and now we're the only ones in the last 5 years.
Why were the other stores different?
They weren't different, but they got old and they retired, and nobody in the family took over.
But you're not retiring.
Not yet.
Everybody came in from her from the time 1963 on. They came in to see her at this stool when she was not at this stool because of her illnesses or because things that happened in between them. People came in and were worried and were always asking, where's your mother, where's your mother, where's your mother? Yeah, people came in for her, and to this day come in for her, and she jokes with them and she swears at them and she argues with them, but she knows exactly what they want, what they've ordered, what their parents used to order from the store, and she tells the grandchildren what their grandparents used to order, what their mothers used to order, and what they like different. The cheese, this is spicy, they didn't want it this spicy, they want that salami, they like the imported, not the domestic. They like the more expensive stuff, not what other people,
So if it wasn't for her being so memorable with the people, this wouldn't be here still.
No, because you don't come in here for good service. The service, she's so slow at the cash register, and she makes mistakes, and people stand here while she corrects their entire bill.
And I know she puts up with no nonsense. She loves a good time. There is no such thing as going to bed. It would be, hey, I remember another businessman, Mr. Carnegie, which was Ferris was his last name. And what everyone called him Carnegie, he owned a huge equipment store, very wealthy man. And he would call Julie at 2 o'clock. Let's go to Denny's and have coffee. She'd call me, Danny, pick me up. We're going to go to Denny's and have coffee. And we'd all sit there, a group of us, till maybe 4 in the morning. But your mother was ready for work at 7 o'clock. Your grandmother, was ready for work, 7 o'clock in the morning. She'd be down there and be doing what she had to do.
And you've had obviously a good reputation.
Absolutely. We sell our sausage in Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, State College, and Altoona, to different restaurants.
Do you think that this store will go forever?
I certainly hope so.
And that's why not only was our product good, the sausage, it's a name brand, let's face it, not only did the people go there for that name brand and that quality of food, but to have the excitement. When I said excitement, she didn't care how, maybe she wasn't feeling good or maybe something was bothering her, you never knew it. She always had time and remembered, if you were there last month and said about your daughter being sick, she remembered to say, oh, how's your daughter? Is she feeling better now? And on and on. So it would be so funny. She would say, to sell the product. Now, this is things Julie would say. For instance, I never tried this polenta, which is an Italian mush. Oh, delicious. I had it last night. You'll love it. She never tasted it, but she sold her product, you know? And she could get away with saying that because anything she ordered to be in there to be sold had to be top-notch. Had to be.
What do you think has changed? Has anything changed from the first time that you opened the store until now?
The price and the quality, yeah.
The quality's gotten better.
Yes.
Nothing has changed.
70 to 90 to...
Nothing has changed since they started.
Prior to the store, you've done a lot of cool
Don't
things.
forget, I was a city councilwoman.
Explain.
The first city councilwoman to be elected to Altoona.
And what year was that?
1981.
And...
The only woman.
Right. And that was during LaJo's time.
Yes.
So that was, obviously, that must have made you more popular in the store.
Yep.
Why did you want to do that while you had LaJo's?
Because I was asked to do that. I did not apply for it.
Because everybody liked you in the town.
That's right, and they asked me to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
And then how long were you involved?
About a year and a half.
Year and a half.
I didn't run.
Well, you got in.
Yeah.
She took
But-
someone else's place.
Ah,
And then she had to
you replaced someone.
Yeah.
So I guess you were kind of a big deal in Altoona, huh? If you could have opened LaJo's in a different city,
I tried.
but where, if it was going to be in a different city, where would it have been?
California.
California?
San Diego, California.
Is that just because we're there?
Because my family's there.
But do you hope that the sausage will reach more than just the East Coast? Like, you want it to branch out. You want it to continue.
Well, it's a fresh product. And
Right. I mean, there's ways
I
of
don't
transporting
I don't think it could be transported to California. Unless we
properly,
open-
right?
Yeah,
Unless you open another.
that's right. Unless it was made out there.
Right. Otherwise, you don't think it could work.
No.
It was hard when Pep was fighting you about running the store. Do you think that it's easier now?
Oh, much easier. Much easier.
And in fact, years and years later, when Aunt Judy died, she wondered if it would be acceptable that they closed the store on the day of her funeral. Now that's a little odd because that was her child. I mean, that was my sister. So that just gives you a little insight. And even when Pep died a couple months ago, she thought maybe she should open in the afternoon after the funeral.
You got it all.
Your business isn't cool.
It's cool. Believe me. I'm lucky to have it.
Yeah. Especially to live on top of it.
But I worked hard.
I know you did.
Your grandfather slid into it.
I mean, he was here when you started.
He got fired from his job. He had no choice. He had to join me.
But you let him.
I what?
You let him join you.
I wept him.
Let him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I hear you.
But you wish you didn't.
You're right. I might as well put these in here. Do you think they'll fit?
Yeah.
People came in just knowing that they would be yelling and screaming at each other. It
And they would argue right here and sit.
argue right here
Right
in front
here.
of the customer about how they should serve the customer or what the customer wanted and what the customer shouldn't have, and the customer came in too late in the day. Where was that customer all day? And Pap was crazy about people that came in after 3 p.m. She didn't want to hear him yell and scream, so she would adopt his attitude of abusing the customer. But
everybody came in for her.
everybody came in for her and not for him. And so it's merciful that he went first, because I can't imagine what would have happened to the business in the past few months if he'd have been left here in front. Her goal in life was to outlive my father, and only it took her till 90, but she won. The competition was who was going to outlive the other one, and she won.
She was unique, and she still is unique. And I don't know, I'll never meet another person like her. So I have to say that I was very fortunate to meet this lady and to have a close relationship. I mean, a very close relationship. She was, I'd say, a diamond in the rough, and sometimes a well-cut diamond.